Little Caesars changed the game, bro.
They did.
Little Caesars changed. That's the most shot shit I've ever seen.
Hey, Chewy, blood. They want you on the podcast, bro. Look, he Mexican, bro. You gotta put him on.
Am I interrupting your depression? I'm sorry.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Voice Party Podcast. I am your host, Corday Snell, and next to me I have Black Joaquin. How you doing, Joaquin?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Across the board or across the table, we have Marcos. How you doing, Marcos?
I am doing fan-fucking-tastic.
I bet you are. You are still on that high.
Yep.
Yeah, high on life. I got you, man. Yep. And next, so we have the great, the funny, the philosopher, the poem writing right here, or taking notes on something. Bilingual. There we go. Okay. JD Arandia. I finally got your last name right. How long have I known you? And I finally got your last name right.
Yeah, you motherfucker. Yeah. You always get it wrong.
Arandia. That's just how how black people will be like. You're like, nah, that's just how I'm gonna say it, right? And then we got Phil on the ones and twos. How you doing over there, Phil?
I'm making America great again.
You motherfucker.
You goddamn son of a bitch. Goddamn. Let's take that out. All right. And then we have a very special guest.
Muy especial.
Yeah, what you just said. We have.
He's super. Now I'm good.
What?
Never mind.
Very special guest, a very funny guy, all the way from Chile, but born and raised and from Oakland. We give it up for. Can you just yourself? I forgot your name.
Lester Ransom.
How you gonna forget your guest name, homie?
Hey, I need to write it down.
It's easy to throw off this guy.
Yeah, it's easy to throw me because I have it all down. And then throwing me.
It all started when I said muy especial. Yeah. He was like,
yeah, no, I literally froze. I was like,
hey, Lester. Muchas gracias por venir a mi show.
Gracias para
invitarme. I like that shit.
Yeah.
Gracias para invitarme.
Holy shit, goddamn.
Hay que hablar puro español por el resto del show. No
Eso,
quiero que
me encanta. Vamos a hablar
que aprendan los güeyes, que aprendan.
Sí, necesitan aprender toda la wea, todas las bromas.
Todas las bromas, todas las historias.
Sí, bon.
Todas las... Si decimos malas palabras van a entender.
Sí, eso, garbatos.
Whoa.
¿Ustedes no dicen garbatos?
No.
En Chile dicen garbatos.
What's that?
Palabras malas.
Oh, okay, palabras malas. Garbatos. Okay, is that a bad word or is that?
No, that's just.
Oh, that's
what you say. So if I said chucha, es un chileno, es malo. Dicen no digan garbatos hoy día.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get back into English for a second.
Yes, okay.
So this is the telenovela part or the ESPN Deportes part of the Voice Party. Welcome.
I think what's so astounding about this is we have Chilean Spanish explaining itself to Mexican Spanish.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. Because I was like, I know it's a difference.
I got.
This is California Spanish.
Oh, California Spanish.
Yeah. Well, I can do
Spanish.
either.
Well, I met a Mexican the other day. I took the Greyhound. I had to go to L.A. and this Mexican dude, he didn't understand English, so whenever the driver had to announce something, he would ask me. And then he saw this chick with a big booty, and he was like, "Ella tiene un culo grande." Like, she got a big butt. And I was like, see, everyone understands culo here, right? Mm-hmm. But in Chile, if I wanted to say here in Mexico, a girl has a big butt, I could say like a slang in Chilean. Mm-hmm. And big butt means manzarraja. Manzarraja. So my wife is a curvy woman. She got a big butt.
That's what that
so I'll be like, amor, I was like, quiero tocar tu mandra. I want to touch your big butt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and I'll call her big butt, whatever. So I was like, bro, so if you say that, they're not going to understand, but now you do. Chileans understand it, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, so if I were to see a cute girl here, and I didn't want her to understand, even if she's Mexican, I'd be like, damn, que manzarraja. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, ¿qué? And I'd be like, oh, no, I just said you're cute or something, whatever.
How you
that's
say
not
big
what it
booty
means.
white girl? How you say that?
You would say una mujer blanca con una manzarraja. Yeah. Una blanca con una manzarraja. I'd go see. You just say it like, okay. Or a white girl with a big butt, una blanca con una culo grande.
Okay, gotcha.
You guys don't say güera?
Nah, they don't say that.
I guess that's the Mexican.
I've heard güera.
That's what I'm gonna have to learn Mexican slang now that I'm here and doing stand up. I've been practicing my stand up too sometimes at home. Like I can't say chucha, I can't say po, I can't say the Chilean stuff because the Mexicans will be looking at me like, what the fuck this dude talking about?
What does chucha mean?
So chucha's like damn. You know what I mean? Like, so,
okay.
if you
We
messed
say a lot-
up, I'd be like, chucha.
We say
Like,
güey
damn.
a lot. That's in the
Way, yeah. So me and my wife, we watch a lot of telenovelas from Mexico.
Okay,
Like there's one we finished called La Pilota.
Don't know.
And it's just about this female who becomes a pilot / drug dealer with the narcos. Shit dope. And the Mexican telenovelas or TV series always got baddies on there. So even my wife be like, babe, you gonna like this shit. There's a lot of hot chicks in there. I'm like, all right, dope.
She know her husband.
So she be like, babe, now that we moving back to the States, this is like last year. She's like, you gotta start practicing your Mexican.
Yeah,
So she be fucking with me. She be like, we be talking in the crib because she doesn't speak English. So she be like, oye, ¿tienes hambre? ¿Tienes hambre, güey? Neta? Like, I'm like, all right, cool. And I be trying to practice too because I just knew from that show, neta, and they say way a lot, and what's some other stuff?
Neta is weird because neta could be like for real. Neta?
Yeah. So I've been trying to get on the Mexican slang to learn that for my stand-up when I'm able to do it in Spanish.
Some comic had a joke about cachucha, the word cachucha, about how what did you?
Hat.
He said hat. So cachucha, there's different meanings. He said he went to, I think, he said he went to Spain and he was like, quiero cachucha, and then the guy was like, oh yeah, it's gonna cost you this much, but follow me.
Prostitute.
And he was opening up naked girl in the room.
That's
Because
funny.
cachucha means pussy in another.
Everywhere is different, just like in the
I see
States.
that,
Our
chucha.
English and accents are different from Cali, New York.
Or United
we
States and
didn't- I couldn't
Australia
say-
or United Kingdom. Like,
Exactly.
you know, we call elevators lifts in Great Britain, for example.
So a water closet is the bathroom.
That's on the
Water
East Coast.
closet.
Water closet is an East Coast term. Yeah.
Okay, I ain't never heard
Oh,
that.
no, wait. Back to the Spanish.
I learned that from Anne Frank.
Oh yeah.
Back to. God.
She told him.
No, he's talking about.
She told him.
I'm reading Anne Frank.
It's all good.
And Frank told him that was.
Wait, so like I couldn't
These jokes
say.
got no celebrity.
So like going back to Spanish though, like I couldn't say abuelito as a kid, so I would say abapito, and then I started. So I call my grandpa now Pito, and all my cousins and stuff we all call him Pito, and we didn't know that meant. Like as kids, like we didn't know that meant penis, right? But like
Slang for penis.
Slang for penis.
It's actually
a whistle.
Whistle, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whistle. But we were like, no, it's whistle, and everyone's like, nah, bro, you're calling your grandpa penis, and he was like, oh no, this is what they call me. And so like,
That's funny.
It's so funny. Like he's like a super like church
See,
guy.
if you could
and
do stand up in Spanish, you could probably make that a funny ass joke right there with a couple
probably
different
good
things
concept,
you messed up.
But like, so like all of the kids, like, cause my aunt had 7, kids after we were already grown. And so they all call him Pito now. And
That's
then like
funny.
all their friends call him Pito. They don't know what that means at
Yeah.
all. All the kids from the church call him Pito. It's hella funny. It's all these white kids calling him penis.
You know what's interesting is like the stuff that's funny in Spanish sometimes doesn't translate well.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
For a non-Spanish speaker, that is like the craziest thing for me. Cause like, for me, I'm like, oh, Mexicans will laugh at anything, dude.
No.
They'll say like pen, and they'll all laugh, and I'm like, what are you laughing at? That's not funny.
Well, you watch Cantinflas movies?
Nah.
You don't know who Cantinflas was?
Nah, right away.
Okay. Well, he's like I guess he was like Mexico's Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
One of the most well-known comedians from back in that 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And you watch his stuff, and it's hella funny. Even
He's
if you
not
watch
the dude that's kind of old and super skinny. With that, he has like a hat, like a fish hat, maybe a duck hat or something. like that.
It's made out of like a paper hat.
I might
He has
have
like a
seen
cigarette.
a couple of his
He's
stuff.
always playing like a poor guy. It was old.
Yeah.
Well, he did a lot of like wordplay, and he was fast. Where if you watch it, it's like funny, especially if you understand Spanish.
Yeah.
He's quick, and he sounds like from the streets. But then like you couldn't translate it. Like it's it loses everything. It loses.
Yeah. That I don't doubt it, man. They've had a couple of situations.
Same with English to Spanish.
Yeah, there's a huge festival in Chile, and they brought somebody over from Mexico, and the jokes in general just didn't translate to Chileans. He got booed off the stage. It's all bad.
Yeah, you can't.
It's like the same jokes I do here, I don't know if I could do in Chile.
Right.
Like my whole sets that I used to do in Chile since 2015, I don't think I'm doing any of that shit right now, right here.
And you were doing stand up in Chile.
Full Spanish. Yeah.
Full Spanish sets.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I know it's different from them because, you know what I mean? Just like the stuff I could talk about that happened to me is being a black American down there, they find funny.
Yeah.
You know what I
Just
mean?
random,
like just
regular
dumbass
stuff.
shit like how big your feet are. Like I would literally go to barbecues with Chileans, and dudes would just be staring at my foot like, I'm like, bro, they're like, what size you wear? I'm like, I'm a 13. They're like, I'm like, bitch, I ain't fucking you though. So what the fuck you talking about? Like, why are you so interested? I'm like, why are you so interested about my shoe size? I mean, I know what they getting at, like. And I tell jokes like that. Like, I've been to the bathroom and dudes will just be like this. I'm like, bruh, the fuck, homie? Like bruh,
what are we doing?
Really
what are we doing right now,
bro? Like, this makes no sense. And I would talk about that in my stand-up.
When I go to the stall and that's the white dude next to me, I do turn to the side, though. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, we ain't gonna have none of it. Especially if them border things ain't up. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go over here. Like, nah.
But the Chilean dudes wouldn't even try and hide that shit, bro. I'm like, serious, homie? Come on, man. Like, bruh. They're like, we want to know if the myth is real. I'm just like, but you ain't never gonna fuck me, so what's the problem? Why do you really want to know?
It's funny because like there was there's very few that do translate. Franco Escamilla, he's a Mexican comedian.
Yeah, I heard of him. Definitely
he's
heard
like, it's crazy because
he's got Netflix.
Yeah, he's got a Netflix special
to watch that shit.
And he also like, I saw that he toured in Japan. Like, what the fuck? Like doing Spanish stand up
in Japan,
in Spain, and in other European countries. And you watch his. That's the cool thing about him is you watch his stand up. Some of it does translate well to English.
Yeah.
He did a joke on like his podcast recently where he said there was a guy, and this is not even like, I guess he was just telling like a story. Some guy in Mexico, they used to call him Simba because his uncle killed his dad.
It's all bad.
He said it in Spanish though. It sounded un güey que le decían Simba porque su tío mató a su papá.
That's all bad.
I think that joke is funny no matter what.
Yeah, I think so too. That's what
what up, Simba? Like, why you calling him Simba? Is that like, goddamn? Did he blame it on him too? Like, did he leave the house for like how long and come back and revenge his dad's death?
Told him it's his fault. Yeah.
And it's well. Before we get into this, you want to like talk about how you ended up in Chile?
I was
yeah.
Because you're from Oakland.
Yeah, born and raised Oakland.
Yeah. Real quick. I remember because he met you before I did, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, oh yeah, I met this funny comedian and stuff like that. He's from Chile and shit like that. And then I meet you at the San Jose Improv. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm just an Oakland cat from who went to Chile and lived out there. I just speak Spanish and shit like that. I was like, oh, is this the Chile? I was like, this motherfucker ain't from Chile.
No. Well, it's because when I met him. Tony Sparks told me about him before I met him.
Yeah.
He said this brother's from Chile.
Yeah.
And then when we first met, we spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Like only Spanish. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, damn, he picked up English quick.
Been here 2 weeks, bro. There's 3 weeks. But he's smart, yo. We're all faceted, JD.
Pick that shit up.
So anyway, so Mr. Ransom, how did you how and why did you move out to Chile?
All right, so I want to go to
that question sounded better.
Graduate school for international business.
Oh yeah,
and I had to test out of a second language. I studied Spanish in university. But I wasn't comfortable, so I was just like, let me go. My homeboy was dating a Chilean at the time. She's gorgeous. She was like, go to my country, it's safe. And if you can learn, that's what she said. She's like, it's safe.
Safer than Oakland.
It's safe, and my country speaks the hardest Spanish in the world, which is true. Chileans speak the hardest Spanish in the world. Yeah, the fastest, more slang than Mexico. Go to Spain, it's the same way. Like, if you were to throw JD in Chile, he'd be probably looking at me for translation. Like, what are they saying? You know what I mean?
Ayuda, hermano, por favor.
It's slang, yeah. The modismos, they say in Chilenos. That's the slang, modismos. And they have so much. It's crazy. Like, when I first got there, I was just like, I don't know what the hell y'all saying. Just like, they talk hella fast. Even sometimes to this day with my wife, I'd be like, I don't know what you're saying, babe. Like, you better talk better English or talk better Spanish than that. I can't rock with you.
Talk better Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you better slow down, all right?
Yeah.
Stop using all them slang terms on me, all right?
So she was just like, go to my country. My homeboy that was dating that Chilena, and you should be fine. So I was like, cool. I looked up a program, found a program. I worked with the government where I stayed in a Chilean household for 5 months with a family that didn't speak any English. And I taught English to one of the poorest public schools out there because I was the part of the program.
Yeah.
We were 100 teachers sent to public schools all over Chile to help teach them English because they didn't have the money to get proper English teachers. So like my English teacher there for my 5 months didn't even speak English. She just read out of a book. She interrupted my class every day. She'd be like, Lester, what does this mean? How you explain this to the students? I'm like, how you English teacher does speak English? But we were at poor schools, so you know, it's not like here in the States where a poor school can just find a Mexican or Latino to teach Spanish.
Well, it's not that easy.
I mean, I'm not saying it's that easy, but there is a lot more Latinos than there are Americans out there, is what I'm trying to say. So
damn it, Joaquin.
Yeah.
No, it's oddly hard to find someone that speaks that speaks Spanish and who also wants to come back and teach the young. So many of our English language development teachers have no Hispanic background at all. They just use like a
opportunity for you right there, bro.
Yeah, for real. They just use like
I
sat in on one teacher's class because I had a junior in their class one year, and I poked in for a couple of days because there's some disciplinary problems, and they wanted my help. And as I'm watching them go through their stuff, and it's basically them taking the English stuff on a projector, typing it in, and then translate it out in Spanish, and then he'll say that to the class.
Really? That's crazy. I didn't know.
And it's because we don't have
that.
enough Spanish-speaking teachers who are applying for the work, you know? So.
Also, he worked at a very low-budget school, high school that's not in this. I'm just messing with you. No, because I work at a charter school in Oakland, and I was going to say some of the people who work with English first, like incoming English learners, they usually aren't credited in like maybe teaching Spanish or like actually accredited teacher, but they're like someone who can speak Spanish and they're teaching them and that kind of aspect. So it's like, so they might not be a full, like the person with a degree to teach might not be the one, like might be fluent in it, but someone who's not have the degree might be teaching some of the kids. So it could be like a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. So
I got you. Yeah.
Because it'd be like, we just need this. So we did like, hey, like, okay, can you speak? Would you mind working here? Because you speak fluent Spanish and we need like help in this area kind of thing.
Okay. I got you.
So how was it teaching there? Like you said,
Oh, it was cool, man. Like, my school was wild though, bro. It was like, cause like once again, when I went out there was no black people.
Yep.
So when I went into school, like I remember my first day I got introduced to the school, I felt like I was like 50 Cent, bro. Like I was just sitting there chilling with a bunch of like 5 to 12-year-old, 14-year-olds. And, I'm like, I'm just the English teacher. Calm down, man. Like, I was. They would have me sign their books. I was like, y'all gotta wait till the end of the semester. Photos with all of them. It was crazy. Even the parents afterwards. All of them wanted photos with me afterwards.
Oh, no way. Who did they think you were?
Teacher. No, they just like, cause like I told y'all before we started this, it was just like they had never seen a black American before in person. And I'm 6'2", you know, 200 pounds. So it's just like, they would be like, we see you on ESPN.
We love your band.
We see you on MTV. All the time. Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not a rapper. I can't tell y'all how many times I'd be walking down the street and a Chilean would stop and just start rapping to me in Spanish. I'm like, bruh, what are you even talking about? I'm not a rapper.
Who did they think you were?
This is the most racist thing I've ever experienced.
I'm not a rapper.
I'm not a rapper, bruh.
Who did they think you were though? Like, did they like say like names?
No, they would just think I was an athlete. All of them thought I was an athlete. If anything.
Yeah.
Like I had a funny story during this time when I was teaching. We got in cool at one of the casinos. And so we got in we fandangoed our way in. We was always VIP at this casino that was dope there. Harlem Globetrotters come to town.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah, you look. Yeah.
So we go to this casino to go to the club, and we with our clique, it's like 15 of us, but we always get in VIP. And we walk in, and we walking past the Harlem Globetrotters. They in line. And of course, they from the States. They like, bro, where the fuck you from? I'm like, man, I'm from Cali. They're like, what you do here? I'm like, I'm just an English teacher, but I know these motherfuckers because I've been here for 2 months already or whatever. And they was just like, how y'all get in plugged before we do? And I'm like, hey, we just know these people right now. That's it. Simple as that. And because we had been there for a while, and the fact, you know what I mean? It was just weird, bro. It's just like, I didn't expect it either. I didn't expect any of this. Like, I was thrown off. I didn't think it would be such a big deal. Like, one of the times that I knew the decision I was gonna stay, we went to this club, and it was like 1,000 people. 1,000 people in this club, a popping club at a beach town in there in the north in Chile. And it's me and 5 other English teachers and like 5 other Chileans. And we just sitting there having a good time drinking, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and the dude's like, hey, can you come up on stage and just introduce yourself to the crowd? And I'm like, so I have my Chilean friend. I was like, is he saying what I think he's saying? It's like, yeah, they just want you to go on stage and and introduce yourself. And I'm like, what the fuck, why? He's like, look around, you the only black person here, and you from the USA.
Is that scene in Rush Hour 2 when he get closer?
Hey, when he's in the karaoke bar.
I'll be right back.
But this was a legit dope ass club. Yeah. So I'm sitting there like, nah, I'm cool. I'm not trying to get on stage. Like, that's not, I never wanted to act. I didn't do stand-up by then, nothing. I was like, I'm good. He's like, well, I'll get all y'all drinks for the whole night if you do this for me. And I was like, yeah. And my boys was like, Lester, you better do this
What's
shit.
up, everybody?
Yeah. So I got up there. I was like, bro, what you want me to do? He was like, man, just introduce yourself and play with the crowd. I'm like, fuck, man, what the fuck? All right. So I get up on stage. I was like, what's up, everyone? I was like, hola, todo mi nombre es Lester Ransom, soy de California, USA. Everyone starts screaming. And I'm like, what the fuck? This shit is crazy, man. And then my dude was like, can you dance? The manager. I was like, nah, nigga, I can't dance. I was like, I ain't no dancer. What that look like, Magic Mike in this bitch?
You do the rock away. Lean
For
back.
real. So I was like, you know what? F it. I'm a little tipsy because I made him get us some drinks, a couple rounds of drinks before we got on so I could, loosen up to do it. So like, bro, you throwing some West Coast shit, I'm just going to sea-walk in this bitch. So they threw on, it was probably some bullshit like the next episode or some shit, Dr. Dre. And I'm just sitting up there, sea-walking there. Everybody go crazy, bro. That shit was insane. That's funny. And then when I got off stage, they had 2 guards waiting for me. Cause all the girls was trying to rip my shirt, like literally rip my shit off when I got off the stage. Like it was insane,
That's
bro.
Real rock star shit.
And my homeboy, I was like, bro, I don't think we ever leaving this bitch. I was like, we staying in Chile for life. I was like, why should we leave?
That's the dream.
Why? Yeah, I was 26 years old. And I was like, the next day too, in that same beach town.
Everybody shorter than you?
Me and my homeboy, yeah, it's true. Like, there's tiny.
He visited the Shire, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Master Lester.
He was Gandalf.
You're supposed to be leading us into the rings, Master.
It's like when
They're
Gandalf.
going to Mardar, sir.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Why the hell did you come back?
It was crazy, man.
That was the funny part. He was like, oh, yeah, I was just out there speaking Spanish. The whole time he was telling me, I'm trying to do comedy. I'm like, bro, why are you back? Like, I know you. Like, I know you can't. Like, I'm like, you came back to this shit? I'm like, right, like, I'm.
Everybody says that, bro.
You
Everybody
went from that to coming to Copper's Foot.
Yeah. Everybody asked me that too, cause I got into TV in 2012.
In Chile.
Out in Chile.
And it was in Okay,
Yeah.
keep going. I got questions.
All
Make my list.
So my first, that program ended and I stayed in Santiago. I came home and then I went back. I was like, look, I'm gonna go for 1-2 more years max, get my Spanish, because I still didn't feel it was good enough to pass the test.
Can I just say, you're the second person today that is going to talk to us about walking away from fame.
From fame.
Oh. But see, here's my mindset, and I'm explaining to y'all, and it will happen too. But so I started a company my first year there. It's called Usa Carretes, Una Noche en Estados Unidos. It was like a night in the USA.
Okay.
So it was me and a New York DJ, and I was the host, and my New York DJ was a DJ. So we just put it on Facebook. We was like, we gonna do a night in the USA. And we had like 800 people show up. Ooh. It was thick. And I'm telling you, I made bank. And I was only supposed to do this one time because I was just sick of their music. And I was like, I didn't like reggaeton, and I wasn't, what is it called? Techno. They love reggaeton and techno. And I didn't mess with reggaeton and techno like that. I messed with a Daddy Yankee back in the day every now and then, but they was on some hood reggaeton that I'd never heard of. My Spanish sucked at the moment. So they would always tease me because I would go to the clubs with headphones, the little earbuds in. And I'm sitting here and I would meet chicks off that. They'd be like, what you listening to? And I put my music on. I had my, whatever music was playing, rap. Yeah, I had Dre. I had everything. Too Short, all that. But so I had a party and it popped. It was like 800 plus people. And so I started doing it every month. And some famous people came, recommended me to a TV show in 2012. And I went on it. And at 2012, my Spanish was a lot better. And then all the networks hit me. Like, immediately I had popped up on HBO as a drug dealer, as a narco, doing English and Spanish. And then all the major networks in Chile hit me up. Wow. So then one of the networks I was on in 2013, 14, was like, we're doing a comedy competition. Can you do some stand-up? Because you're pretty funny, but we just like, we'd love to hear you try stand-up. And I was like, oh man, stand-up in Spanish? Yeah. I was like, my Spanish was horrible too. I was like, what the fuck? All right, but you know what? I'm gonna try this. So I just wrote out some jokes, some funny stories, and just to show y'all how different Chileans are. Like, one of my stories was just like how it was for me going out in the club. And I'd be like, when I go out in the club, Chileans would always be like, when I walk in, they'd be like, wait, look at that big black dude. He's so tall. Look at his shoes. His shoes are giant, blah, 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 this and that. I just want to go talk to him. And then the girl would be like, but you don't speak English. And she'd be like, it doesn't matter. After I get drunk off of this shit, I'm going to be bilingual. I'm going to speak perfect English, right? So then they walk up to me and I'd make a joke how they ask me, like, how to you? What the fuck? How to you? And be like, how you doing? And be like, yeah, it's that. And then be like, I'd be like, I'm good. And you? They'd be like, I'm good. Name you? And I'm just like, name you. Like, what's your name? You know, like I go through a thing like that. And then, and I'd be like, and then after talking, the girls get their moment. They're like, okay, I met my black dude from the States. I got to take advantage of this. And they just be like, you, me, home? I'm like, what? Really? That's easy? Like, damn, just because I'm a big black dude from the States?
JD, this is the last episode of The Voice Party. I'll be on. I'm going to Chile for 6 months.
I would like to announce my
just say you're Lester.
departure to Chile.
Nah, my name is Clester.
Lester. I like that.
Cluster.
Go there, that'd be dope.
The name's Jester.
But yeah. So that would be my stand-up out there. Now, I did it in Spanish, but I would do my voice as the girl and everything, and that was one of my better jokes, too. And that was like my first joke I ever wrote in Spanish.
Exactly like you said, like the translation, a lot of stuff gets lost.
Yeah.
Just you telling that story, like how it sounds, the way you say it in Spanish, like it doesn't translate with English.
Exactly, it doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, and I got into that, and then I didn't even take it serious, but then 2 years after that, I got into a comedy writing class from like 2 famous comedians. They were like, Lester, you need to get in stand-up. You can do shit we can't do. Mm-hmm. So I was like, dope, and I did it, and I loved it. And I was like, cool. So I was working on the #1 comedy TV show for 8 years while I was doing stand-up.
What's it called?
It's called Morandé con Compañía. Morandé's the famous guy. That's his name. It was his show. And it was like Saturday Night Live, but his show, and he had a cast of like 15 actors that was on there every week. And we did it live every Friday in front of like 300 people.
Oh, like SNL.
Yeah. It was live every Friday, and then everything we aired on Saturday, we filmed on Thursday or Wednesday.
What did you say it was called again?
Morandé, Morande. Con Compañía. Con Compañía in Chile.
Morandé.
Yeah, Morandé, Morande. Morandande. Con Compañía.
Like he's an A-N because you see he's struggling. No, you put the...
Not equal.
So, I was on that from 2012 to 2020 when it got shut down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And to answer y'all question, like, why am I back here? I had got a lot of stuff out there. Like, I had been blessed to get on HBO, Amazon, Netflix, and I'd worked with Antonio Banderas, a lot of Latin American superstars, Olga Kurylenko, the chick from Oblivion that was with Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. She was in that. I met Danny Glover when he came through there because he was filming a little something, and Fred Emerson for Saturday Night Live, he came out there too. I got to work with him. Too, right? Yeah, he's fluent in Spanish. I didn't even know he was fluent in Spanish, but he is. I met him in the dressing room, and we was talking Spanish. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. And I was like, I double took it. And I was like, wait, Fred Emerson, what the fuck you doing here? He's like, this is the show I'm in. So it was dope, but I got hella stuff. But I'd be like, okay, how can I get bigger roles? And everybody be like, you got to be in LA for that. It's like, if you're going to be here, you'll forever get secondary roles. You'll forever get secondary roles unless you go to LA. So I was like, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I want bigger stuff. So that's why I wanted to come back here and come to LA.
Man, so you had it made out there.
Yes and no, man, because it was like, I love Chile to death, but even as much as they love black folks, they were still racist to that stuff too.
I can only imagine.
You know what I mean? Like I had producers tell me straight up, had you been a white dude just like you would be super more famous than you are right now.
Colorism.
I had a couple of them tell me that.
Colorism.
Yeah, because I had 2 white homeboys that I would go out with from like a 2-year time period. And we were all the same height, same built, but they would win. Like when I'd be out with them, I was a ghost. Nobody even looked at me damn near. Because we all 6'2", shredded.
Like, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm like, well, bitch, I'm famous. You know what I mean?
I'm on TV. They just white.
But to their defense, one of them was famous on TV. He was way more famous than me. But the other one, he was just like I'll be out with them. I'd be like, man, I love y'all, but I hate going out with y'all, bro. Like, don't nobody see me. Nobody see me.
I'm working on a joke. I say, average white dudes stay winning.
Yeah.
Because you always.
My best friend in Chile is a white dude. He about 5'9" from Kentucky. Pretty little white dude. he told me too. He's like, bro, I ain't never leaving Chile. He's like, in Kentucky, I wasn't shit. I ain't getting no females. I'm a god here. Like, he get all the bad ones. Like, he was my roommate for like 6 years, and he would pull bad ones over me too. And I'm like, how does this little white dude from Kentucky pull the bad ones over me? Like, this don't make no sense. Yeah. I didn't get it. I was like, I'm a beast.
You need to go to Chile.
I'm the ex-athlete, not this little dude, but that's my brother,
it
man.
Make everything even.
Like, exactly.
You athlete, good looking, in shape and stuff like that. And he white.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Chile is your next venture, bro.
Hey, you would kill it out there.
Hey, Marcos.
You would kill it out there.
Marcos,
they would love that.
Me and
they would love that.
Lester and Jester is about to go to Chile. Wait 6 months, because I don't want your ass to.
Hey, they would be talking in Spanish to y'all hella fast. They would be like, y'all would be thrown off like, why you like? I don't know what y'all talking about.
See, I just be like, see. No.
You agree to be in the cartel hella fast.
So since you've been back, have you like done a lot of auditions? I know you came out here and you started doing stand up.
When I got back, the first 3 months I was just chilling, getting seeing my family and stuff for Christmas. But February is when I hit the ground running. I was in Hollywood for like 3 weeks. I was just sending in little auditions there. The only thing I filmed in those 3 weeks is I was an extra on. Y'all remember who Marcus Houston was?
Yeah.
The IMX.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was still acting. I had no clue.
Oh yeah, I see. It be popping up.
So I did this.
Guy, right? They call him Batman or something.
Yeah, he called
something like
Batman.
that.
He called himself Batman.
Yeah.
What's the name of the one with the eye patch?
Immature.
I don't remember his name, I don't remember.
He was trying to be the other star in the group and say, no, this is Marcus Houston.
Exactly.
Or Roger. That's what everybody knew. Roger.
Yeah.
Go home.
Roger.
Exactly. So in those 3 weeks, I got as an extra on his film. I didn't even know it was this film, bro. Like, I literally I saw it was an extra. It was like time to network, because I don't know anybody here, so I just need a network. So I did that, met Marcus Houston, like the first thing I was on, whatever, blah, blah. And then I hit all the open mics out there.
L.A.
Yeah, in L.A. But it sucks out there because they charge you for all the open mics.
Yep, $5.
Yep, majority of them charge you, bro.
Yeah.
I thought that was insane. I was like, this is crazy. Y'all charging for comics to practice their craft? You know what I mean? Like, that don't make no sense, but hey, everyone does it there.
Grab out there.
Yeah, so I actually did cool, and I was gonna hit up Laugh Factory and the big ones, but I'm glad I didn't, because I really wasn't ready then, because I had never done it in Spanish or English before until that moment.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's
like
this year.
I recorded, in February. I recorded it and sent it to my homeboys. I was like, Lester, why are you talking like nobody speaks English? I was like, what? I didn't even listen to that. And he was like, yeah, you're talking like, hello, my name is Lester. I was like talking hella slow, and it was so whack. And I listened to it, I was like, "Y'all right? Like, why am I talking like?"
I am black from Oakland.
Hello proper.
Yeah, hello proper. Yeah. So then I'm glad I knocked that out before I came to Copper and up here, because y'all would laughed me off the stage. So I was just like, I knocked off a couple and got in my comfort zone that I'm doing it in my own language. And I was like, what the fuck is your problem, man? You got jokes, you know what I mean? This is your own language. I ain't got to worry about verbs or nothing. And I started doing good out there, and then I just didn't stay out there, whatever. After I just came back to the town because we got a place to stay out here in Oakland. So
you reached out to me around
February, right when I got here? Because the first night at Copper, when I met Tony and David Dominguez and them, they was like, you need to get with JD. Oh, and I think I hit you the first night I got here,
and it took me a while to respond because I was like, this isn't real.
Yeah, you
was
did.
Like, a famous person's not gonna contact me.
Oh yeah, like 20-something thousand, and then like just like, hey, can I do your show? You be like, man, okay, so Abada's taking over.
There's no way.
Yeah, I was like, this motherfucker didn't even respond, and I told Tony and him a couple times. I was like, man, I'd hit JD a couple times. He ain't responded to me.
And
so
I just thought it was like some bot. Like I was like, I see. Then you're gonna see my page posting about Bitcoin.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Because you told me you've done TV and shit. I was like, this is how they steal your organs, man.
But everybody told me about you.
Tony told me about it later though. He said, "Hey, did my man hit you up?" I'm like, "Oh, so that was real." Like,
All right, I actually have a question because, like, when you get you said all these companies, when you started really learning Spanish, everyone started hitting you up, all the companies and stuff. How do they reach out to you? And were you skeptical at all at first? Like, did you have a team already, or were
Nah, I didn't have a team.
So were you skeptical? Dude.
Yeah, I had an agent, thankfully, for the big stuff. That paid real good. I had an agent. She handled all that stuff for me. She'd be like, Lester, Like the first thing I got, the first commercial I ever got was Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it was for the States. But they film a lot of stuff in Chile. You know what I mean? Because it's cheaper.
Right.
It's non-union. So if they take union out here and slash that and do non-union, they saving at least probably 50 grand.
Right.
You know, on a project. Right. So that's why they go to Chile.
That's why they want a lot of actors here to be non-union now.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
so
that's hard because
yeah, but it's like a lot of loops around it. Like
it is. I met a lot of actors, a few actors that were part union, but went out to Chile anyway. They were like, this is non-union, but F the SAG because I'm not getting work anyway. So.
And I didn't want to ask if you're union or not.
Yeah, I'm not union yet. Okay, I stood none of my stuff. All that stuff I did. I've been on commercials in the Super Bowl, NBA Finals, March Madness, everything, and none of it counts here. None of it.
Damn. And when I worked with some actors that are union.
Yeah.
They told me, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Stay non-union until you can, like, as long as you can.
Yeah.
Because like.
What's the benefits of union versus non?
You get protected. Nobody can lowball you. Nobody could come and be like, "Oh, you working this for $50? Or you doing this?" You get protected. You can't be forced to work extra hours. Technically,
right.
You just get the back in the SAG.
And also, like you, the longer you work, like it helps you with like your health benefits and all that.
Yeah, health benefits too. Plus the managers and agents look at that. Like if you SAG, then they can mess with you.
Right.
If you're not, like right now,
so
nobody's
what do you mean?
really,
like if you have commercials that are like been in the Super Bowl, NBA Finals and stuff, it don't count here. What does that mean?
Because they weren't done under SAG. They weren't done under union.
Filmed elsewhere.
Yeah. What so had I signed a contract and said this is SAG related or credits to SAG, then it would all count it. But they're not going to offer that because I was filming in Chile.
Count towards what?
Counts towards, you have to have 2 credits to be part of SAG. And then after that, all your money goes towards your, I think it's a SAG pension or whatever, and towards your health care.
It would have had like a history with SAG for like everything would have been counted.
So all my paychecks too, that percentage would have went towards SAG or whatever, helped me towards my health care, all of that stuff.
And it's not just actors, right? There's also the crew, the
exactly.
The
it's not just actors, so it's protection.
Gotcha.
It's like a union. It's a union,
and then non-union is basically just paycheck to paycheck.
Basically. I mean,
it's like working DoorDash. You just get a job when you can.
A lot of the IFC stuff, right? A lot of that shit that used to be, like Sundance.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
So so as far as though big companies reaching out to you, you had an agent for that. She took care of that.
Yeah. And
how did you go about
stuff? I handled.
Okay, so
my Spanish was good enough for that.
Okay, so when it came to local stuff and stuff, how did you determine whether this was going to be like a scam? Like, I shouldn't really do this?
Because back then, this is 2012. Social media wasn't really popping like that. Nobody was like
botting out.
I don't even think the first iPhone had been out yet. Okay. I don't think so in 2012. Had it been out already?
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
Yeah.
I didn't get one until 13 or 14.
Came out around like 2 years ago.
Okay, I didn't get my first one until like 13 or 14.
Yeah, same.
I remember people would hit me up, and then obviously because I'm a big dude, less people would try and take advantage of me.
Right.
I would get people like, be careful, you know what I mean? But for the most part, nobody really tried to mess with me like that. So I got very lucky out there.
Yeah.
2007, the first iPhone came out.
Yeah, no,
really?
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, I didn't know because I didn't get one until 13, so I had no clue. So.
Yeah, because I remember I had got a phone from Sprint. It was called the Instinct, and it was their competing phone. It was their competing phone against the iPhone. And I remember specifically, the iPhone was out because I was in junior college and I had just graduated, so that's why. What, JD?
I heard what you
What did he say? What did he say?
He changes that word every time.
You said specifically.
No, you said specifically. Like,
whatever, y'all. I got a super credit. First off, bro, don't be talking to me. My name is Lester, okay? I don't even know who you are.
And so you've done.
Tell them, Lester.
You've been in this world for a minute.
Yeah, since 2012, man. I've been at this for a while.
So how does it feel though? Like now being here, grinding at open mics. Like the other day, you were at
mind it. Yeah, like I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I'm starting over.
Does it feel like you're starting over? Or no?
Yeah, it definitely does.
Just making sure.
It definitely does. I'm not headlining. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody asking me for photos. Ain't nobody stopping me out here. That's one of the things I love being back.
Go on. Bitch, like I went up on stage, introduced myself, and bitches lined up, and I had 2 guards. Now I'm just at Copper Spoon. Hey, so you had like 5 minutes?
It's true.
No, 100%. But some people are like, I'm content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, that don't bother me. Like, I look at this like I'm starting from scratch, but in a year or two, I'm definitely not going to be nowhere near here. You know what I mean? Like, I did it in Chile. If I could do it in the second language, why the hell I can't do it here? You know what I mean? Like 100%. Nobody believed I could get to where I was in Chile.
Right.
Like even when I was starting off in those racist folks, like some of them was like, bro, they ain't gonna mess with you because you're black. You know what I mean? I'd be like, well, F them. I'm about to show them wrong.
Exactly.
And then I helped create a skit that we still hold the record to the ratings to this day.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, and the only reason we didn't have more is because of the racists. You know what I mean? Like I would go to the higher ups on the show, like, okay, this episode, this did so dope. Can I give y'all some other ideas? They'd be like, nah, we cool for now. I'm like, what? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, why don't you feed off of this?
Do you think if you was more fair skinned, it would have been like easier, like Drake, like kind of like
probably, maybe. But I know if I was white, I'd have definitely been a whole lot.
No. All right, because like. Dark skin.
Colorism.
I got.
If he was passing, is that what you're asking?
No, lighter. Just lighter.
Oh, lighter.
Just lighter.
Yeah,
like your tone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. Lighter.
Lighter.
Like,
I definitely think if I was like a Drake type. Yeah,
like a Drake. So I said
help.
Drake or like a
Chris Brown color.
Like there you go.
Yeah.
Because light. Because my mom's like very light. My dad is super dark. And then like people really look at my family like why? I'm like my dad's dark skin. So that's why I'm asking. Because there's colorism.
I definitely think if I was like Chris Brown color. I'd have been popping. I'd probably be at 1 million followers right now, and I probably would have had my own TV show.
Yeah, because I remember who was it? Big reggae artist, not reggaeton artist, said that he didn't feel like there was colorism in the reggaeton.
He didn't feel like there was.
Bad Bunny. He's like, because he never experienced it. Because he was talking about, somebody asked him, he was like, well, what about this dope Afro-Latino reggaeton artist and stuff like that? Do you think he'd be bigger if it wasn't colorism in reggaeton? And he was like, well, I can't speak to that, so because I never felt it.
It's true.
So,
Look at Colombia.
I'm like, really?
Look at Colombia. Me and my wife watch telenovelas from Colombia all the time, and I'll be like, why are there no black people on these TV shows?
The chairs in the gotta move the chair out of the little divot. Yeah, it looks like it might pop off. Yeah,
that's true. There's
in Colombia, I would be like, all these TV shows and these movies, it ain't no black people in these movies. Colombia's full of black people. Yeah, like this is crazy.
Remember when Giovanni Dos Santos first hit in Mexico? You know who that is?
I don't think I heard it.
He's a Mexican soccer player, but his parents are from Brazil. Yeah, so he's a black guy.
Okay,
and he was one of the best at one point, one of the best players in the Mexican soccer team, and like people were like, are we sure?
Yeah.
Are we sure that he's,
Was this recent?
No, it was like 2014, 2015. Him and his brother, they were both.
I don't know if I do remember that or not.
They won. They helped, they scored goals to win a couple of teams for the Mexico soccer team, but it was
crazy.
He stood out out completely from.
It's crazy because like how I was treated like the shit. I was the shit, but at the same time, it's just like they was gonna cap me off.
Yeah, it was almost like
they wasn't gonna let me get too much success. Like, you know what I mean?
Like it was hundreds, but it could have been thousands of women lining up. But it was like, no, I don't mess with dark.
Yeah. But it was so weird too because I can't tell you how many times girls would come up to me being like, I'm married with kids, but it's always my dream to fuck an American from the States, a black dude from the States. You know what I mean? And I just be like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like
that's crazy.
Nah, man. I didn't mess with married chicks. That was never my style.
No, I got you.
Yeah, girls should just be bold.
Your husband's so lucky.
Yeah, but it's like, man, because I want to say only in Chile stuff would happen, but
did you ever feel fetishized because of this? Like,
yeah, of course,
commodified.
Yeah, of course, of course,
more like like a Ken doll or something.
Yeah, of course, man. Like I remember. It was just crazy, bro. Like I remember going out with one chick and we just went to the mall just to go grab some food. And I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking, but I was just like, fuck it, let's go grab some food. And everybody was staring, asking for pictures, and the chick was like, I don't like people staring at you. And I was like, what the fuck you want me to do? Yeah. What am I gonna do? Do you see another black person here? Yeah. Like, what are we gonna do? And they know me from TV, so there's nothing I can do about this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's one of the reasons I love being home. Don't nobody mess with me back here. Nobody. I can do whatever I want. Ain't nobody staring at me. Ain't nobody doing this. You know what I mean? Like, if you
not yet,
Lester, if you came to Chile with me,
so
if you came to Chile with me, bro, we would be fighting them off, bro.
Yeah. So
what about me?
So
they would mess with you, but it wouldn't be the same.
My question is, okay, so like you said, nobody messed with you and stuff like that. Were you ever like kind of like more on the edge, like kind of like I can't be seen like messing up or doing anything like bad or kind of because you're like the one, so like it might like
they're waiting for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, see,
well,
like,
if it came to, I was never a violent person, so when it came to almost fights, I didn't want to end up in the news or anything like that. I would stop my crew, like,
that's what I'm saying,
because I rode with the Marines down there,
gotcha.
like, because they were Americans, you know what I mean? Like I formed my clique. Yeah. And it would be like, and then some of my crew, we was all like big dudes. Yeah. But for some odd reason, I mean, it happens in the States. Yeah. Whenever we'd go out with our biggest, deepest crew,
it's always a short
that's
dude.
When it would be like some little Chilean, drunk Chilean trying to start stuff with us. And I'm like, bro, why? Yeah. Like, do you have a death wish?
Right, it's always like that. Every time I'm almost going to go to a fight, there's always a short dude who's like 5'6" or shorter.
And they're just drunk too, out of their mind.
Always want to fight.
Yeah.
I was at a Tyler, the Creator concert.
A little Marcos.
Right, yeah. I was at a Tyler, the Creator concert, right? This drunk white dude kept walking, like pushing. And I'm like, hey, bro, what the hell you doing? Like, hey, yo, back up. Nah, it's cool. I was like, nah, bro, it ain't cool. And then, like, everybody looking like, oh, shit, this black dude about to knock him the fuck out. But I had, like, this cute chick with me and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was trying to show I wasn't violent. And I was like, nah, bro. And he goes like, nah. And he kept, and then I just went, I didn't punch him, but I just shoved him. Yeah. And he just like, he was just like Neo in the Matrix when he got hit back, he was just.
Hey, I believe you. I did that once in Chile too. I didn't hit the dude. I just threw him across.
Just threw him. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And it was like,
dude did the same thing to me. He looked up like, damn, where did that come from? I was like, bro, I didn't want to hit you, so I just pushed you as hard as I could.
Everybody was like, hey, bro, hey, hey, how much you bench, bro? Like you just threw him over his head. You like a football player here? Yeah. That's dope. Some football players is dope in the Tyler, the Creators.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, you did a little Spanish stand up on my show the other day that you did.
Yeah.
It really hit, bro.
I just think too, at first they weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
So I was like, ¿En serio nadie más habla español? And they were all looking at me like, huh? Yeah. Like, how does black dudes speak Spanish? But then when I did the bilingual stuff, they really loved it because I could say it in Spanish. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I need more of this.
That's why I feel like if we do,
I need more of this.
We do schedule, like even there, to start off, we schedule.
I'm game, if we could do it, but promote it harder. Yeah. Get like, you cool with Luigi? From Copper? Nah. You're not cool with him? Oh, okay. So I met him. Seemed like a cool.
I'm messing.
Okay, all right. I thought you weren't for real.
I was like, oh damn, what happened? Y'all
I know, right? He seemed like a cool dude to me, but he said he does it too.
He's done stand up in Spain.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
And in Puerto Rico.
That's what he told me.
He actually had a show. If the pandemic fucked it up, 2020, we had one of our boys was in tight with the improv, and they gave him his own show, all Spanish. It was gonna be me, Victor Pacheco, Jesus Cruz, Luigi, and a couple other comics.
That's dope.
We're gonna do all Spanish. See? One of my cousins worked at.
Why can't we set that up at Improv now, man?
one of my cousins worked in the Mexican radio station. And I was gonna pay to advertise it on the Mexican station. Yeah. So to promote the shit out of it. Yeah. Because I heard that like Gordo Mamon threw a Spanish show once in Salinas. I don't know if it was him or someone else.
It was him.
But it was like 150 people came out.
See, bro.
It was like him and somebody else.
Yeah,
bro. Like I was trying to tell you, I was like, I don't know, bro. They only do shows in, like Salinas and Fresno. He was like, bro, Fresno. I was like, bro, that's where because
there's more raza there.
Yeah, because it's I remember because the show so me and JD did a show with El Gordo Mamon, and then I tested.
He met him that day.
Yeah, and I had tested positive that night. So we hurried up and like drove back. But at the show, like I had one up. Like he went up, I went up, and then Gordo went up, and then another dude went up. And he was like speaking all Spanish.
I did very little Spanish.
He did very little Spanish, and then they told me like just a quick little line to say, and everybody was like, "What?" And I was like, "Nah, fuck with you." That's Because I said
they told him introduce yourself.
Yeah, because I did it. Because I can like. Because I just keep saying it, and like I'm like I can pronounce like Spanish words like really good and stuff like that. So I'm like, so that's why I kind of like my little like I can roll my R stuff like that. And people are like, oh God, you like really. Yeah. So if I ever did learn Spanish, I'd be like, bro, I'd be killing them. So when I went up and I did it, everybody was like, oh shit, and I was like, nah, fuck with you. And then a few people after the show they was like, nah, bro, you speak Spanish, huh? I was like,
you Dominican.
I was like, yeah. So they was throwing it out there.
Your name Lester.
And so I just said, so I started playing up the Lester image. Yeah.
Lester.
Clestor. Me and my homies used to go out. We used to like give us a little Latino names. Like my name was Carlos. My name was
Yeah, I used to always love Latinos, man. Ever since I was a kid, because my first sport was soccer. And it was like Latinos all over my squad. Yeah. So I was just like, I want to know what these motherfuckers saying, what they saying, man. And I just always loved it since I was a kid.
Too,
I noticed that, I don't know, I never met you before you spoke Spanish, so I don't know. But no, because, once you speak Spanish for a while, like it changes the way you speak English a little bit. Like the I's, we say
well, you say different
sounds,
different things.
And it's kind of like you speak it on a louder tone, Spanish than English, right?
Yeah.
And it does change the way you speak.
Yeah, definitely does.
I hear it when you speak, like it kind of, you still got that.
And that's what people tell me too, even when I say Latin names, like when I said somebody else, I was talking when I was in LA doing an audition, they was like, damn, you even say Antonio Banderas like a Latino.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was like, Antonio Banderas. And I was just like,
Banderas.
He was like, even you say Banderas like a Latino. And I was just like,
and it does.
I be doing that too, but
it's a big difference because the English language, we speak it in America here, we speak it on like a lower tone.
Yeah.
And when you hear British people, when they say like the word, instead of saying like the word E, like we say it, they say it sometimes like I, like E, like in Spanish. I don't know if that, I'm trying to think of a good example right now, but it is a difference. Like it's kind of higher. Like we speak it a little higher.
Yeah. No. It's funny too, man. Like, cause I even had a joke. I got hella jokes I'm trying to work on, but one of them is like, my son answers my wife, cause my son's name is Lester.
Yeah.
Right. But my wife says Lester. So we like, Lester, no. Lester, no. And I'm like, and I'll be Lester, no. And they'll be like, that motherfucker don't understand that I'm saying his name too. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, so I'll be like, Lester, you stop. You know what I mean? But if I say Lester, he's like,
I got you.
Who you talking to? You know what I mean? But if I say Lester, no.
It's like the enunciation.
Yeah.
Like my person, the J for me, the J is Jose. But I got used to saying it Jose.
Yeah, Jose.
But it's Jose is the way they say it.
It's like Paula. Yeah, stuff like that.
Paola,
And it's so different, just the pronunciations. If you say stuff like that, that they won't understand. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have the pronunciation.
It's hella funny because they always make fun of me whenever I say like Pacific and specific or something like that.
He mixes them.
I heard it too when he said it earlier.
But it's funny because like literally when I'm out, because I'm a math teacher, right? But then like because during the pandemic, I was like super because I teach this thing called SIPS, which is like we teach kids to read like every day. So that's like in like enunciation mode. But then like when I'm out of that, the further I get away from teaching or like the weekend, I'm chilling. So I'll mess up a word.
That's how I was teaching English out there.
But then like once you back in English, like you have to specifically do like I remember because I live with my parents, mom like exactly whatever. Specific. There you go. Is that better?
Yeah.
You get lazy.
It's like me. It's hard for me to say asked.
Oh, that's a good one.
I had an audition this morning. I had to read the lines, and I was like, "Motherfucker, why they put this in the audition?"
It's like asked, but it's like
and
asked.
I was like, "Oh, Lester, make sure you don't say axed." You know what I mean? Like say axed. You know what I mean? Like pronounce it right.
Yeah. I remember my mom. So like during the pandemic, because I would teach SIPS every day. For the next 2 to 3 hours afterwards, I used to talk like this a lot of the time. So when my mom was talking to me, I couldn't understand.
That's how I did my first stand up here in the States.
A lot of the things she was saying, and she used to pop me because she thought I was being like, she's like, so, okay, Mr. Fancy, and I was like, nah. But then my hearing too, like she wouldn't like fully like enunciate words, and I'm like, what'd you say? Like I thought you said lead. Would you say lead? Like and stuff like that. Like,
see, and that's the thing too about going to Chile learning Spanish. Like in Mexico, you guys say your S's. You guys pronounce it, vamos la playa, algo así.
Vamos a la playa.
In Chile, they don't ever pronounce their S's. They be like, vamos la playa.
Oh, yeah.
¿Cómo estáis? They don't say ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estáis? You know what I mean?
Same with Puerto Ricans, the R, they pronounce it in the L. Puerto Rico.
I can see that. Yeah. Everywhere is different, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even with English, how we pronounce different things.
Spain,
different.
Spain, they have that list.
Oh, I can't stand that list, man. That thing is hard.
Oh,
I went to Spain one time when I was speaking Spanish, and I made these shirts in Chile, and I'm gonna do it here in the States again. And you can look this shit up. Since 2010, I've had these shirts that said "Que Rico Chocolate." Because when I first got to Chile, the girls would be like, "Qué rico chocolate," and I'm like, "That means
delicious
sexy
chocolate.
and like sexy chocolate, delicious chocolate." I was like, "Dope, I like that shit." So I put it on shirts.
I think I've seen that.
So I put it on shirts, right?
Hella long ago. And I was like, "What the hell that means?" It was like, delicious chocolate.
Yeah.
I was like, I need that shirt.
And I'm in front of my events. I'm holding my events with these Qué rico chocolate shirts, and like 500 to 1,000 folks screaming, bro. It was insane, cuz. It was insane. And I lived in the gym.
Like you said, why did you leave? No.
I lived in the gym.
Have you thought about going back?
No, I mean, I will. Because if I get stuff here and I blow up here, I can do whatever I want in Chile.
Yeah.
So if I'm on a dope Netflix show or Amazon show here or get something dope here, I can go back to Chile and demand however much money I want and direct and everything if I wanted to. Yeah. So I know that. Once I land something dope here, and once I start doing dope things here, I could be like, all right, I'm going to go back to Chile for 2-3 months, rack up hella money, and then come back and film whatever I need to film
you have
in
all
the
the
States.
say. You have all the power.
Exactly.
We should put together a little Spanish comedy special.
Hey, I'm with it, man. Like I've told you before, man, my goal is to be the first American to have a comedy special, TV special in English and Spanish. And I'm going to do that.
Felipe already did it, though.
I just got to. Huh?
Felipe Esparza already did it.
Yeah.
But is he American, though?
Yeah.
He born and raised in the States?
Now he is.
Okay, see, that don't count. He came from, I'm talking about someone who does not have Latino blood in their body.
That's true.
I didn't learn Spanish until I was 27 years old.
Gotcha.
And I want people to know that
That's
you don't
different.
have to learn from birth. That's all I want to start that movement. I want to start promoting stuff. Doing these comedy videos. Once I get my mics and hit these comedy skits, gonna hit hard. I got hell of them.
We talked about it.
And I'm just waiting to get them
links
filmed.
For you. I have some stuff on Amazon.
Okay.
I'll show you.
We talked about it. We talked about doing stuff at the
we talked about
improv.
it at improv.
And I got hella more too. And it could be like I got ideas on top ideas just written. I mean, like, say if we were to say tomorrow, let's link up for 2-3 hours, and it was just us filming skits. I think on my phone I would have, just for us, we could probably knock out like 10 skits on just my ideas.
Do one right now after this
on
shit.
Bilingual stuff.
Yeah. Or now after we're done here.
Yeah, we could do some shit like that.
Yeah, man,
like
it's crazy because I when you first
now that you say that, it'd be dope if we do some stuff like you guys could be talking, be like, look, man, we got this dude. He lived in lived in Chile for a little bit. He claims he speaks Spanish. Let's see what's up. And then maybe y'all could do a joke like JD, you don't speak. Y'all are the Latinos and don't speak Spanish either. And be like, we gonna see. I bet you my Spanish is better. And you walk in and be like, Lester, ¿cómo estás? And I just start blabbing off Spanish. Todo bien. La fin de semana fue la raja. Me encantó. Comí mucho. Hablé con mi esposa todos los días. Like you be sitting there like, bro, like what does he say? I don't know. Like it's easy stuff. Hella stuff we can do just off top. But
you know my first jokes I ever heard were obviously in Spanish. So like one of my uncles, he still to this day likes to tell jokes. Like he creates his own stories. He told me a joke one time. It wasn't. I found out it was like an old joke, but he spiced it up himself, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a weird joke because the punchline was just him speaking regular English.
Yeah.
It was basically the story. He tells a story in Spanish about these dudes crossing the border, and when they cross into the U.S. they encounter a vampire, and then they run back to Mexico, and they talk to the priest. The priest gives them a cross and tells them that if they get down on their knees and pray, the vampire will move. So then they come back to the border, and this is all in Spanish at this point. They see the vampire, and they get down on their knees and start praying in Espanol, and they do Padre Nuestro que estás en el cielo, and then the vampire says, "Oh, sorry, boys, I don't speak Spanish." And that's the punchline.
That would be funny.
And we were like dying. Yeah. That was all the punchline was him in English saying, "Sorry, boys, I don't speak Spanish."
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
That would be funny too. Man. Yeah, I set that up. That's dope.
That's hella funny.
But it's so much stuff, man. Like my wife always tells me, she's like, "Don't talk too much about your ideas." But I'm like, look, I don't really care. Like I would love to, be part of that movement to help, get more bilingual TV on and promote more Americans and Latino Americans to speak it. You feel me? Like
you said, we're in Cali, and Oakland has one of the biggest population. Oakland and SF, biggest populations of Latinos, of not just Mexican, Latinos in general.
Yeah,
San Jose too.
San Jose.
Yeah, like I even thought about just like I was trying to see how I could do it. Because every contact I found was nobody that dealt with hiring their TV personalities. But there's like a couple Latino stations, TV stations here. I even thought about just going down with my resume like, look,
Telemundo.
Mi nombre es Lester Ransom. Yo puedo hacer tus cosas en español también. And I could do it in Spanish too. And what better way than I know there's a lot of Latinos and black people here together, but there's still a lot of tension. And what better way to bring that tension together than to have an actual African American that speaks Spanish on your show? But I couldn't find any like who I could talk to for the networks here in the Bay, whether it be Oakland or Frisco or San Jose. And I'm like, who am I sending my resume to? Because I've sent my resume and reel out to hell of people, but you don't know who's seeing this that make the decisions. You know what I mean? Like, I have a reel in full Spanish, and I have a reel in half English and half Spanish, and I have a reel in all English. I have a resume in all English.
LinkedIn? Do you have a LinkedIn account?
No, because I didn't think LinkedIn had anything to do with acting or TV.
It has everything to do with it.
Really?
Everything.
It's
starting to pop up. It's everything.
I ain't been on my LinkedIn since like 2015, and they were like,
I never had a LinkedIn.
I was using that to contact like artist managers for bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like Netflix music supervisors and stuff to get your songs on shows and stuff, like everything, actors.
Okay, so I do have to get on LinkedIn.
Yeah, get on them.
It's really
the best way to do it is if you can't connect with them on there, find their name, find their Instagrams and stuff,
and write them that way.
Well,
find
either
their
write
address.
No, but like build relationships with them that way. Yeah. Like it's easier than people think. It's easier to find who's who.
See, that's what I need to do, man. Like,
make a LinkedIn and literally just type in on the search bar like Netflix casting director.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like it'll show up like I did Mr. Iglesias.
Wikipedia too, right?
You can.
Wikipedia is not a credible source.
But I mean, it can be. It's more now, more so now. But LinkedIn is definitely more like.
I'm gonna get on that,
they'll make you. I guess they make you prove.
Because I always feel in my mind like if the right person saw my reel,
100%.
and they'd be like, "Look at this black dude from Oakland speaking Spanish. We got to put him on something." And he does stand up. Yeah. And my reel's half comedy, half drama. You know, I've played a Secret Service agent. You know, I've played a teacher. I've played, a boss or whatever. I've played, the comedy roles, all of that stuff. I've been in the maid outfit. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like it was on a comedy show. So I've done everything, and I feel like if the right person saw my shit,
definitely do SNL.
Yeah, if the right person saw my stuff, like if there was like a bilingual platform right now, I would be perfect for it.
A bilingual
perfect for it.
A bilingual Wildin' Out.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
I would be dope with that, man. But I don't know anybody doing it. That's why I'm trying to connect. That's why I'm trying to connect with these. You saw the post I did the other day. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to meet the people who can do it in Spanish. You know what I mean? Like, even if you can't do it full Spanish. Like, I would, like, either if I could rock with El Garage or another place, then I would love to do it too. Like, look, we won't do all Spanish. We'll have like half and half.
We could definitely do
You know what I mean?
Like, we could definitely do like a
and I think we can get a following that would be dope. Especially if you can
they got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
They got nowhere to go.
Like even the George Lopez show, I haven't seen it, but do they talk a lot of Spanish on that show? See, that's what I'm saying. No. You need something that's 50-50.
Yeah.
Like I wrote an idea for a sitcom that would bring the black and Latino community together. That I think would be dope for a sitcom. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I have like the premises written out. You know what I mean? The characters, everything. Like that's like my goal. Stand up, I love stand up. That's like my second passion. But acting and writing and directing is where that's where I started at, 2012.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even before I came here, I was given the opportunity to write and direct and star in a little mini episode on the TV show out there too. And it was all me. The other 3 actors in it, I wrote everything for them. I had to translate for them. I had to make sure they said things right. You know what I mean? The cameras and all that shit set up right and all that stuff. So I'm there. I just need the crew and all that to do it. That's the hard part, getting a team together, man.
Yeah. So we need to get some of these viewers from Chile to watch this episode.
Yeah. But if it was in Spanish, like if we did half and half, it would be dope. Yeah. I'm sure the Chileans would love it because then they could be like if we were all bilingual, we could say, let's do 30 minutes in English, then we'll flip it to Spanish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Somebody would love that.
There's a market. Even here, there's a market for that. Because I've been it's hard enough to get booked in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard enough to get somewhere with that.
Yeah.
And with Spanish, I can't even. I think I could translate my set. It might. Be easy, but I think I
see, and that's the difference for you because you're full Latino.
Yeah.
Part of my personality too is I don't say everything perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but
for Americans, we look at Antonio Banderas and Selma Hayek like they're good looking and their accent. Mm-hmm. Sofia Vergara's how they talk.
Yeah.
So like in Chile, I'll get the same thing. They be like, we understand what you're saying, but your accent makes it even that much better. Or if I mess up a word, they be like, it makes it that year. They be like, even in my stand-up, sometimes I would say stuff wrong and people just die laughing and be like, oh, my bad, I did say that wrong. Because I'm a gringo. Yeah, I'm an American, so I get off the hook. But if you're a full Latino, they be like this motherfucker. Yeah, like, they're these biggest old ladies. But that works for me. But it's just a huge market there, bro. And I think somebody got to tap into it sooner than later.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming out, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
And this was the same thing we talked about. Someone walked away from fame.
Yeah,
but I get what you mean. Like,
I want bigger stuff, man, and y'all will see me on bigger stuff. But like, sure. It's definitely 100%. Gonna happen. I just need to get to LA. Yep. That's like I got to go back to LA in June. I might have to go back into May for other roles that I might be getting. One already got a verbal confirmation, but I don't ever take it until I see the contract. Right. That's how I look at it. Yeah. You can tell me yes every day, but unless I see a contract, I don't believe you. Right. But it's gonna happen, bro.
We gotta do a Spanish show. We already got. Yeah. We're in the group.
We gonna get something cracking.
Group chat for that Spanish show in San Jose.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and pop up to that. Yeah. I'm gonna try and make it to that one because that's why I asked too if I can get 5 to 10 minutes in Spanish.
Oh yeah.
So if I can get 5 to 10 minutes, it's gonna be more dope.
It's only gonna be like 5 of us, so you could probably do more.
Hey, I'm game, man.
Jesus Cruz is a all Spanish show in San Jose. So we'll make it happen. That's why I also booked you on that show that I had Gordo Mamon on, because and Jesus Cruz was there that day too. We'll introduce you to those guys because Gordo actually does Spanish shows in Salinas.
Yeah. I saw some of his clips too.
Yeah, that too. So
that's what I want, man. I want to get on that hype, bro. Like, I think it'd just be so dope to have a half and half show.
And I'll tell you some more stuff off air, but thank you for coming out. Before we go though, we want you to tell everyone where they can follow you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Y'all can follow me at Lester A. Ransom at Instagram, whatever. That's all Facebook. I got is Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, Lester Ransom on Facebook, but Lester A. Ransom. Get my followers up. Hopefully, I'm gonna get these skits coming too. Get these skits cracking, whether it's with y'all or solo. Because I'm just waiting on these mics. I'm trying to order. Yeah. But like I said, I always love writing and doing funny skits like that. And
for sure. You can follow hopefully
we can knock some stuff
Instagram
out.
At Cluster C. Ransom.
You can check my work at Jester. The sketches are so much.
But y'all got the setup, man. Hilarious. I honestly feel with this, if y'all had this set up and did a bilingual shit, it would just open up a lot more.
We'll experiment. We gotta experiment with it. I also got to speak more Spanish because I haven't really.
Are there any? I'm sure there are some bilingual podcasts out there, but is there a popular one? But are there popular ones? Not like what's the ones that's super popping? Are there any?
There's celebrities that have.
There's celebrities that have them that like just will randomly throw in random language.
But there's none like just that's really legit half and half.
No, I don't think there's any that are like known for being bilingual.
Somebody with money needs to just do that. Be like, look, we're gonna go 30-30.
But I think the difficult part about that too is like, how do you can't just make it about being bilingual. It's got to be what do you talk about on that? What's your vibe of the podcast? Because you talk about other stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like it could be an interview. You know what I mean? Just basic stuff. Because the more you see famous Americans talking like that, the more it's gonna motivate others.
Honestly, I think it is really. I think it's just
sorry, before you say that, you could literally have Ben Affleck as a guest.
Yeah,
and that motherfucker is fluent.
Even Will Smith, his shitty Spanish. You know what I mean? Like he did an interview in horrible Spanish. My Chilean friends, when it came out in like 2015, would all wrote me. They was like, "This is you, Lester." I'm like, "Man, I don't talk like that." Like, come on, bro.
Have you seen Ben Affleck?
No, I haven't seen him speak it.
He's fluent.
Yeah, okay, I haven't seen him speak it.
I was shocked.
The Mexican Spanish. Though.
Really?
He says, "No, mano," like a Mexican.
So he can have like a full conversation and everything.
Straight up.
Okay, that's what's up. That's dope.
You were saying something.
Yeah, I'm just,
my bad.
It's cool. Now, I think what I think it is just like, because we say like bilingual and stuff like that. I think really what it's just, you have to prove that this is like profitable. I think that's like really what it's like. Why aren't more people doing it? It's like, because it's like, because it's kind of like, well, how are we going to like gear our audience? Because, they don't know Spanish kind of a thing. But it was like, but I know people who know Spanish and speak English and kind of speak like in a Spanglish type of way. I think that's what it really is. That's why you don't see this much. And I feel like it's slowly kind of bubbling. And the few people who do like, who like Felipe is like amazing, but like Tom Segura, like I didn't know like he was like full like Spanish and stuff, even though he speak to his mom because he's like passing, so it's kind of like always a constant like oh yeah I know Spanish, but that's like not what I'm about. Like you know like I like no you know I'm like you know I'm like I'm white passing, you know, so kind of like stuff like that, but then also still like, oh, well, this is also profitable instead of thinking like reggae, like the money from reggaeton, they like, oh, they don't think that will correlate, you know, like over into like regular stuff. But yeah, it is, but they like, you know, so you have to like.
Yankee been popping here though.
That's true, and then that is a big thing. That is a big thing.
You know? Like Gringos was singing that. I remember when his songs was out in college.
I was singing that in elementary, right? I remember somebody had to, I think I told you, somebody had the nerve to say, hey, you don't know this Daddy Yankee song? I was like, what? I'm like, I'm like, come on now.
Right now with Bad Bunny, like they're singing along to the Spanish lyrics.
Yes, exactly.
Like straight up white people, black people,
exactly.
like
Asianese. That's how you.
Yeah. Exactly. So somebody's gonna get it cracking. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Send us off in Spanish, bro. Yeah.
Oye, para la gente que está escuchándonos, que habla en español, sígueme en Instagram, porfa. Mi nombre es Lester Ransom. Instagram. Eso aquí estoy mirando. Y también tengo Facebook, pero no tengo Twitter ni... ¿Cuál es la otra? What's the other one? TikTok. Pero nos vemos pronto con muchos videos de comedia y stand-up con mi amigo, ojalá aquí con JD y los otros. Y
hola.
Eso es, hola. Vamos a tener videos y stand-up en Spanglish pronto, de comedia.
¿Cómo se dice? Stand-uperos, that's what they call them, stand-uperos.
En Chile solo dice stand-up.
En México le creo stand-uperos.
Sí, bien.
Sí.
All right, that's been The Voice Party.
And we're out.
Yes.
That's incredible.